Welcome to Confessions Beyond the Food. I'm your host, Nancy Ridlen. Let's dig in and get inspired. Hello, welcome back to Confessions Beyond the Food. So today I have Stephen Rogers. He's the Southwest Regional Sales Manager for Inteplast. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. It's great to be here this morning with you.
No, I'm really excited. Stephen, you are one of the funnest people to be around. I mean, you get stuff done, but you're so fun. So I'm really excited to share your energy and what we're going to talk about today.
Well, thank you. I do have a passion for our industry, and I have a passion for people and working with people, and just enjoy what I do a lot. And I think that kind of comes through. That's my mission, is to portray that to everyone I'm around.
Yeah. Well, today we're going to focus specifically on Stephen never meets a stranger. I mean, never. I mean, he is besties with someone within like 5 minutes. And as a salesperson, I mean, that is like the goal, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we're going to dive into that today. So Stephen, so tell us, like, you have a prospect, you've never met them.
Correct.
What's your strategy?
Well, my first strategy is to get to know their business, know what they're doing, what they're about. Of course, today with the internet, back in my day when I started, we didn't have the internet. And so now we got this great resource where we can dig up a lot of information on not necessarily the company, but also people through LinkedIn and different avenues that we have access to. So I really try to drive and understand as much as I can about a company so that when they're talking to us about our business, or their business, that we can comprehend and go next level with them to try to help them do what they need to do. Okay, so once you have gotten all the, their information and everything, so how do you approach them? Well, I mean, it's simply old school. I don't take no for an answer easily. I think you guys know that from me. I am been known to be tenacious and basically until someone just tells me to leave me alone or get the heck out of here and never come back, I'm going to be on them. So I start with phone calls. I might start with an email, just however I can get in touch with that individual specifically that I'm trying to target. And typically, if I can't find the target individual, I'll work through a receptionist or whoever I need to work through. To your point, I really don't meet strangers. So I feel like I can work myself through that maze to drive to that right person. And once I get to that person, then I feel like that's when all game is on. And it's not just a game, it's real for me.
Butter them up.
I don't really feel like I have to butter them up. I mean, I don't know. I just kind of let my personality take charge. I mean, I feel like I'm a straight shooter. Very honest, open about my business. I think sometimes I may be a little overly honest, but in our world today, I don't think transparency is the key. It's the key to our industry. They can find out, just like I found out about them, as much about me as I did them. So just be honest about what you can do, what your capabilities are. And, I guess one of the things when I first meet a person is just to try to get them to smile. And I mean, once that smile happens for both of you and you're there in that instant, all inhibitions drop away. And you're able to really kind of focus on getting to know each other, getting to know the business. What are the opportunities here to help each other?
So has there ever been a time where you didn't get a smile?
Oh, I can't imagine. Absolutely. So probably one of the funniest stories I could tell you it's been many years ago. I was up in Topeka, Kansas, calling on a salad company up there. And I had, at that time, I was working in distribution. I had a manufacturer's rep with us, and we'd gone in to meet with the head buyer at this particular company. And she'd given us the appointment. We had an hour, and we walked in, and she shut her computer off, and everything was good. And I'm an older guy, as you can tell, but the thing on her computer, when she had it off, that every time she got an email, instead of a ding or whatever, it was the quote from Cool Hand Luke. What we have here is a failure to communicate. And I swear, if that thing went off once, it went off 10 or 15 times with Bob and I there. And I mean, it's so funny today. And I mean, I know this morning we kind of talked about that a little bit, and I shared that with you. And just the quote itself, that movie is, that's one of the top, well, we read about it, it was top 11 movie quotes. So it was definitely it's a funny quote to begin with, and just the guy that was the actor in that, and the way he says it, and his passion with saying it, the way he said it with his robustness. Oh man, it just made that call. It made me want to laugh, but now I look back at it and I really laugh about it.
Yeah, I mean, how did you sit there with a straight face? I mean, if this is going on in the background and she's like sitting there stoically without, right. How do you not smile?
Well, at that time, I think I was more perturbed than I was happy, because like I'm trying to get through to a point here with what we were trying to offer them, which I felt like was a very legitimate quality sales meeting that we had put together, and a presentation we had for this coach. They were a big company. So we really had a great presentation for that. I gained lots of sales through this kind of presentation before, and really had a good thing we were trying to share. And needless to say, that call is one that I can say did not go well for Stephen Rogers. That's one of the negatives over here on the negative side of the board.
I don't think you have many negatives on that side of the board.
There's a lot of failures.
But so I'm curious about when do you walk away? Like, when you're going after somebody, and like, when do you just say like, hey, this isn't going to work? Do you have any?
Well, I mean, you got to look at your timing. How much time do you have to access that? You got to respect your customer's time, and, you don't want to feel like a pest. But I mean, I guess one of the things that I lay out there, you and I are calling on a customer together right now today, and I have pestered this gentleman a few times, and I feel like I'm being kind of a pest to him. But I basically told him, like I tell you, until you tell me to walk away, I'm not going to walk away. I mean, the opportunity is big enough for us to continue to pursue, although not that I just leave it sitting there. And, there will come a point in time where I will find another fish to fry, if you will, or another piece to put in my pipeline that will take the place of that one that I'll spend more time with. And not to say that I don't circle back. I can't say I really ever give up unless I'm just told to quit. I mean, I just don't like to quit. I'm an ex-athlete. I grew up an athlete, grew up in an athletic family. Brothers played ball, daughter played ball. I mean, it's just the passion that you have for the game. To me, sales is like a game in a way, but to me, it goes beyond that. It's more or less, I want to see both my customer win and my company win, and everyone involved win. To me, it's a team thing. And when we all win together, it becomes a lot of fun for all of us in our industry, right? We build great relationships. We love being around other people. And those times when we're just outside of work, sometimes we've been in some of those situations where we're out to a dinner or what have you, that you truly enjoy these individuals that you're around, and you get to know them, that they're true people too. They're not just a buying piece of meat, if you will, buying stuff from us, that they got family, they got issues, they got personalities, they got things going on in their life just like we do, Nancy. So I take a real strong feeling toward that. I mean, family, and that is very important to me. And I look at my sales family as part of my family. I mean, that's just how I go about it every day. People I work with, I want them to feel like they're loved by me, and they are. And I just give that passion away to everybody. I think that's just part of who my demeanor is.
Well, I have to back that as a fact checker 100%, because you are the kindest person. And once, you're in the circle, I mean, you take care of us, and we go into battle together. We lock arms. And I think it's really fun about being around you and working with you, and just learning from you, because I'm not only, just his sales rep. I also call Steven and I said, Steven, I need some advice, because I know that, you care like I care about our customer.
And I care about your company. I care about Nancy and the people you have working for you. I mean, at the end of the day, my mission this year, when I started this year with our company, I kind of had my own mission statement for myself, is that it's not just about me and my well-being of my family and supporting my family. The company does that for me and helps me out. But as long as I'm successful, they will continue to provide for me. But at the end of the day, if I'm not successful, the people that are working in our plants that are, making our bags and doing the things that they do for us, for our customers, if we're not being successful, then, their families are suffering. So that was kind of, well, it still is my mission statement for this year, is to continue to press hard, win, win, win. I know I'm going to have losses in there, but the more I win, the more everybody wins. At our Inteplast family, your family, I mean, we all are affected. It just is a trickle-down effect. I hate using that word with politics because I just think that we don't see the trickle-down effect in politics, but I truly want to see the trickle-down, and it is. If we all win, we all get a piece of that.
Yeah, I think that is an amazing approach, to think beyond just what you're getting out of the deal with
Correct.
the customer, but also the people that make the products, and it makes it super personal. And Tracy and we were all just talking before this, and Tracy mentioned, you're just so genuine, and it really is real. Like, it's not fake. It's not, you're just.
You like me or love me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people, that's how it is. I'm one of those guys that maybe I just get too close. I don't know, but I just love people, and I love the people that I meet, and I try to be genuine about that. And it's really not a try. It's just how I was raised by my mom and my dad and my family that I grew up with. Hell, I'm going to get a tear out of that. But no, it's just, it's thank you. I mean, I don't work to be genuine. It's just who I am. I want to bring that across to people because I truly care.
That is so cool.
I mean, probably one of the greatest things I can state today is when we win in sales, whether it's a small piece of business or an extremely large piece of business or whatever that piece may be, in a success, I still get, goosebumps. And I always say to myself, if that doesn't come, then maybe it's time for me to get out. But I still enjoy the thrill of the hunt, the thrill of going after the business and gaining the business. And then when you're awarded that opportunity, that your customers trusting you to take that business on, it really is satisfying.
So with everything changing in technology, and I know we hate to bring it up, but COVID kind of made decision makers, they're not working as much at the office. Like, how does that change in, like, with your world and your approach?
Well, in my world, it really didn't change much for me. I mean, once I moved into a management role, and I travel right now. I travel 8 states and manage 8 states for our company. But with traveling, I work from home. I was doing it before COVID. But like I tell everybody, if I have people all the time tell me, I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you do that. And I always say it's a routine. And I probably look back at one of my good friends that he has an office that's a executive suite. And basically he goes to work every day in his shorts and golf shirt. And he's got his suit and tie that he keeps in his closet. And that's his Superman room. He goes in and changes. So it's same thing with Superman. He goes and changes in his, phone booth, which we don't have anymore. But I think you have that routine that gets you into that Superman suit, or that mindset, I guess is what I'm trying to say, to get out there and go do what you do. Because I think that's important. I mean, I have a very strict routine every day about how I get up and what I do immediately before I do anything else. And sometimes I have to get out of that, and it's not comfortable for me. I like to be in that comfort zone and feel like I'm prepared. And, I always look at my calendar of what I got coming up to be prepared for the next day, and what's coming up ahead of that. Because, one of the things with traveling, like you mentioned with COVID and working from home, you always got to be prepared. Things about you got to remember, you don't have it just to be able to walk out in the plant and grab it. It's something you got to order in. It's going to take a little time. So there's organization that's involved, but it's changed. It's changed for a lot of people, but there's still people that just don't exist well in that. My wife will tell you she can't exist well in it. I mean, she does it. She can do it. I think if she got into a regular routine of doing it, she could. I mean, most of us have. I mean, but a lot of people are pushing back to office too. Did I answer that question all right?
Yeah, you did.
All right.
And then is it hard to get to the decision maker with the changes, or?
I don't think so. I mean, as you can see, we're sitting right here on a video right now today, doing a podcast. I mean, you can do, with the Zoom and the Teams and everything we have available to us today. I think, COVID definitely brought that technology to the forefront for a lot of us, where we don't have to be necessarily in front of someone. Although I'm very old school, I don't much care for it. I mean, I do it, but it's not my first preference. To me, being in front of a person and being with the individual head to head, close by, to me, that I can read their faces better, I can understand them better. They're in their comfort zone, hidden behind a computer. And I say it all the time to my daughter and to my wife, sometimes with text and phone calls, they're interpreted different ways. And when you're sitting with someone face to face, how can that ever be taking the place of a computer or technology? You can't read the idiosyncrasies between the two individuals, the body, how that's looking to you or how you feel about that statement they made. So to me, that's why it's so important to me to be face to face.
Yeah, we're all about that face-to-face
Oh my
engagement.
goodness, yes. And Matt, my boss, states all the time, guys, we need to be more face to face. I mean, we got used to that technology. A lot of people still utilize that, but he presses all of me and my team that we need to be face to face. It's not a hard thing for me because that's just how I go about it. I mean, like I said earlier, I'm an old school guy, so the technology is still new to me.
Yeah, but I mean, it's cool that you're adapting that into, the old school. And I
Right.
think because you can't get away from, the hunt, the pursuit, the proposal, and the close process. I mean,
That's true.
sales is that. If you just, we always say show up, follow up, and then now it's close it,
Close it.
close it.
Yeah. I mean, and follow up is, that tenacious follow up is the key. Follow up, follow up, follow up, because eventually, you know, somebody will fail. I mean, we fail on our side sometimes, and you hate it when a customer has to go that other direction. But if you do fail and you know why you failed and you know why you lost that business, it's a lot easier to accept than why you just switched for a penny, nickel, dime. It's understandable. But yes, the follow up is very important. But being at that right place, right time. I mean, you can look at me today and where I am today with my company is a lot to do with being at the right place, the right time, and building the right relationship at the right time.
And putting yourself out there.
And putting myself out there and also doing what I said I would do. I mean, to me, making sales calls is one of the things. But when you're sitting there in front of that person and you say, hey, I'm going to have you a quote back in a week, or I'll get you your samples back, do that in a timely manner. And you need to do it. And, if it's a week, try to have it in 4 days. I mean, the week is giving you the length of the procrastination time. But if you can do it earlier, it shows you care. I mean, to me, when you set those timelines on yourself and you execute before that, then it's showing them, it may not be visible to them, but it also shows them that you do care about their business and you're doing what you're saying you're going to do. And I always believe in putting those little caveats in my calls of, I will do this for you, and making that and executing that, like I said, whether it's a sample, whether it's, hey, they want somebody's name, or, whatever happens. I mean, we get all kinds of questions when we're out there. So it's just a matter of that happening.
So what is your system for like follow up and organization? Like, do you you have a planner, old school? Or are you putting this stuff in your phone? What are you doing now?
I really don't have a planner. I guess probably the easiest way for me to do it is I mean, we're email prevalent today with most everything. I mean, of course, text and things of that nature. But I guess the way I look at my email is my tickler. So once it moves from my inbox and I have followed up to it and it goes to my sent box of where it's sent, my sent box is my tickler. That's where I go daily to see where I am in that process. And it'll tell you, last week prior, it can tell you the last time you made that contact. So, it's a very good organizational tool for me. That's how I use it. I mean, a lot of people think, well, man, that's pretty simple, but why make it more difficult? I mean, we used to have the old folders back in the day before we had laptops and everything to do. Excuse me. But I just use my sent file in my Outlook.
I love that.
I mean, you've sent the information. You have all the information there. Why recreate the animal and have it in a folder or anything else when you can have it right there at your disposal?
That's awesome. You have to be I love that you talked about discipline
Mm-hmm.
a couple minutes ago about,
Yes.
setting a schedule and setting up, being prepared.
Being prepared.
I mean, that I'm just listening to your thought process and, being disciplined, being prepared. And then the organization, say you're going to if you're going to follow up
Correct.
and do it. The other thing that I love about you is you could deliver really tough news and this person still loves you. How do you do that? Tell me.
Well, again, I think it comes with the trust. I think it comes with the relationship. I mean, and, it's not comfortable. I mean, when our car insurance goes up or homeowners insurance or whatever goes up on us, I mean, our groceries are up. I mean, it's not pleasant for us, but it is a fact. And we're all aware of what's happening around us. And I just try to propose it in a way that, hey, I know this is not what you want to hear or whatever, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And here's the documents to back it up. It's not an easy process, but there again, I try to deliver it with a smile. And I don't know, that might be considered a fake smile at that point, Nancy, because it is hard to deliver that. But I think customers in our world today are more accepting of that news than they were back in the other days of my sales career. Typically, if you threw out that price or you had to raise pricing, it was just unbearable. You had almost a chance of losing all your business and you're going to go somewhere else. But in today's world, I think you've built that trust enough where they can trust you that it's legit for you to come back with it.
Yeah.
But I think you have enough open conversations building up to that they understand too, right?
So they're not blindsided.
They're not blindsided at all. I mean, I in our industry with plastic, we do follow the resin indicators. I look at that monthly. We get a report monthly that tells us what's going on in the resin market. I have different situations set up with every one of my different customers with how I address that with them. Some of them want to know every month. Other ones don't want to know at all. Mm-hmm. Some of them just like, hey, just send me my price every 6 months or whatever. It's all different. Everybody's got a different way they want their pricing handled. And, it's just understanding that. Again, I think that gets back to understanding the customer's needs and doing what we got to do for them, right?
Right. And that's what it's about taking that, prospect or stranger to, right. To, hey, I'm open,
right.
To working with you, to, hey, I like working with you and you're going to keep following up. You're not going to just leave me hanging.
Correct.
Even in the hard times. And then they become a friend.
Exactly.
So
I had that same example yesterday. One of my customers called me yesterday. They're looking for a printed bag. They're wanting to move it away from a competitor of ours. And he says, Steven, I really like what I see here, but your lead times don't look like they're going to fit for me because by the time they get here, our customers may be going to be out. So I tried to offer him another option to keep our lead times kind of in existence. And he says, well, the customer's kind of a difficult customer. And I said, I understand that. And I said, well, let me make some phone calls. So I called my people at my plant. I called my graphic artist to see how fast we could turn that art and got an idea of what we can do. And we're actually able to maybe turn this thing instead of a 6-week deal down to 4. And if we can do it in 4 to 5, he's going to give us the PO.
That's amazing.
So to me, he trusts me enough to know that I could do that for him because I took the extra time and I told him I'd call him back. I think I had 3 conversations with him yesterday. So, and I think once you do something like that, you've shown your value. This guy, if I give him a obstacle, he knows how to go around it or hurdle it or, how to do what we got to do as salespeople because we deal with obstacles every day. Whether it's just coming in from work and having the obstacle of traffic, it's an obstacle. So we have them every day.
For reals. But obstacles are, like you said, are great ways to win business.
Obstacles are opportunities.
Yes. Opportunities to shine, to show off, even
right.
if you have the business, but just to help walk them through options and be there because you want to be there for them so that they can go to their boss and have all the info, have
Correct.
all the avenues.
You want to make them look good too,
Yes.
For their boss. Another prime example of that is had a customer recently that kind of slapped my hand about some business that I had taken and done, and it wasn't really in their corporate best interest, I guess, from her viewpoint, and truly trust that was correct. and apologized for that. But then I found out that also my competitor in that instance was getting an opportunity to quote some new business for her. So I turned that obstacle all the way around to give me an opportunity for all of it. So
nice.
Go figure. We'll see how it works out. We haven't landed that one yet, but we're working on it.
That's awesome, Stephen.
But that's an obstacle, just to turn it around and make it fun. And you know, again, it's doing what I do. Like I said, I just enjoy what I do. I think as long as we enjoy what we do, Nancy, I mean, you love your passion that you guys have here at W3, and I see that. That's why we're partners, and we really spin off each other, and it's really a great place for both of us.
Yeah, and I mean, you're just warm, and people like, I want to be your friend. You know, I always enjoy.
We are friends.
We are friends. Yes, and so, but he's just, Stephen, you're just so kind and you're helpful, and people see that, and the customer sees that. And so I'm just really excited that we get to work with you, and you got to share some of your secrets, your sauce on turning all these strangers into besties. But I can't let you leave without your confession.
Ooh, what was that confession? Do you have it written down for me? What I was going to confess?
I mean, okay.
Helpful hint?
Okay, well, Stephen literally never meets a stranger, and he used that to his benefit at our Christmas party.
Oh, yeah. So I'd been invited up. My wife and I, Nancy invited my wife and I up to come up to Dallas. We live in Houston, so we came up for the Christmas party with W3 and got to be with the team here and really have a great time. We had a great event. Nancy and her team had planned, but it was an ugly sweater Christmas party. And needless to say, I don't like keeping anything ugly. Maybe this shirt appears ugly to you, but it's not ugly to me. But anyway, so I kind of put my wife on that. I call my wife the hawk because I can put her on something and she'll hawk it out and find it for me. So anyway, she finds this ugly sweater on the internet, and I got busy and she was busy doing things with her decorating that she does. And I completely forgot. And I was with one of my friends, and we were at a bar, and people were starting to walk in with these ugly sweaters. They'd been to a party. Well, this guy walks into the bar, total stranger, never met him before in my life. And he had the sweater on that I wanted to wear for this party. So I looked at him and says, "Hey, dude, I love that sweater. Anyway, I can borrow it, rent it, or buy it from you." So, and his reaction was priceless. He laughed. I mean, it was ugly. It's pretty hideous. But anyway, long story short, the gentleman was very nice. I said, "Hey, I'll buy you a drink if you'll let me borrow it or whatever." He says, "It's yours." So before he left, he tapped me on the shoulder. He says, "Hey, I got another shirt out in the truck." And he went out in his truck and changed the shirt off and gave me his sweater. I took it home so I could wash it and bring it up to wear. And I got it back to him after Christmas. But yes, that was one of those things where I never meet a stranger. I don't know that guy from Adam, but I did know that guy from Adam, but now he's a new friend of mine.
You can't even make that up. I mean, that is so awesome. And he's so competitive. Like, he wanted it to be super ugly.
Yes.
And so
it was hideous.
Yeah. And he's like, "I had to win the contest, Nancy. I had to bring it." And he won our Christmas sweater party. And I didn't even know the backstory on that.
I didn't at the time, no.
Okay. So we will post,
Oh, you're going to post a picture of that ugly thing.
Can we?
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
It's hideous. I was embarrassed to walk it through a hotel.
It was awesome.
And then we had to go out to dinner and to our event that evening in it. So It's like I had to show it's one thing if you just go to one party with it, but to have to go out in public, it was kind of, can I hide now?
Oh, Stephen, you were like showing that, puffing up like a peacock. Yeah, you were rocking it. You were rocking it. Well, I'm so thankful that you joined me today. And
thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I hope to have you back soon.
Sounds great. We'll do it again.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching or listening to Confessions Beyond the Food. We'll see you next time. For more inspiration, follow our social media at W3 Sales. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all the things. We would love to connect with you.